In terms of downloading, it's interesting how people have kind of the moral relationship with or ethical relationship with the idea of downloading. And what we see is that people very much differentiate between artists they'll download for free and artists they'll purchase. So if it's an up-and-coming artist like Arctic Monkeys, they'll think, well, I want them to be successful, I want them to do well, so I'm going to go buy their single. If it's Madonna, they'll think, Madonna has enough money, I can download her song from LimeWire, who does it hurt? There's very much a sense of no harm, no foul. With an up-and-coming artist, there's a sense that it can hurt them. With an already established artist, there's a sense of, they're never going to know. I think there's a couple things to that. I think one, music is so much more of an important part of how people define themselves and their self-expression. So they do have broader access to finding people with similar taste. I think you also see people experimenting a lot more with music. So with being able to either download a song for free or download a single for 99 cents, the cost of entry to experiment with a new genre is much lower. So instead of being someone who likes Metallica and you hang out with the people who like Metallica and that's your world and that's what you know, you can say, well, what about that Tim McGraw song? I like what he did with Nelly. What about that other song that he has? So if you look at people's iPod, it feels a little bit schizophrenic, where you might have someone with Jay-Z, Beyonce, the soundtrack to Chicago, Beastie Boys, Violent Femmes, Depeche Mode, and while it seems from an outside perspective that those are all wildly different genres and taste and kind of definitions of who that person is, for young people today and for consumers, there's much more of a mix-mash mentality of being able to have artists that tap into the specific mood that they're feeling. There's also a sense of people taking pride in having more sides to their own personality, and they look for music to help define not just their personality, but their mood. So one day they can be a little bit punky, another day they can be a little bit more poppy and a little bit more preppy. The next day they can be listening to Bob Dylan and Rolling Stones and feeling a little bit more important and cause-driven and socially aware. People still enjoy the act of going to see a concert because, one, it's something to do, and one of the cruel ironies of this generation is that as overscheduled as they are, there's still a sense of boredom of what am I going to do on Friday night. So concerts do offer that. They also offer a sense of community. So it's such a pre-selected group of people who like a similar artist, and again, for a group that defines themselves largely through the music that they like, that is very much of value to them. I think one of the biggest things for this generation, though, is that, again, there is a little bit of a sense of boredom. So for a group that doesn't sit down and listen to an entire album, going and listening to one artist throughout a night is something that feels a little bit dry to them. So there's less of an appreciation for the experience of listening to an artist's body of work. And so that's why tours like the Warped Tour or Lollapalooza, where there are different artists within a show, they respond to a little bit more. It's the ADD generation. One of the most important trends that we're seeing is the idea of kind of the new politics, that this is a generation that for many, the first presidential candidate they vote for won the popular vote, didn't win the election. They see lobbyists. They feel that government can be bought and bribed. This is a group that doesn't really have a lot of faith in the idea of democracy. They see that large corporations can make more of a difference in the world than the government. So for them, the way that they want to make a difference in the world is more through what they buy and celebrities they support and brands that they purchase versus who they vote for. So the idea of having a social cause is so important for this generation, because if push comes to shove and you're deciding between two artists or two concerts or two CDs, people tend to gravitate toward the one that gives back to the community and that has a portion of the proceeds going to a cause that tries to make the world a better place.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. It's nice to see a shift of people just being better people and more of a social responsibility. Having said that, people want to be socially responsible but in a way that's easy for them. So we call it activism light, that it's, I'll click on this email if another company will donate $1. I'll go to this concert if a portion of the proceeds go to support a cause. Are they going to go out and canvass and have people sign petitions? Probably not, but it's a generation that really values the power of money. So they're going to have their consumer decisions based more on giving back.